Welcome and welcome to All In, All United. Your boys Reman Nico here, and we have Gregory Burris on the inside. Gregory, what you saying, man?
Good night, everybody. I try to make sure the connection no drop this time.
All right,
Yeah,
so guys, we here under the kind of circumstances that we are right now. I mean, we wanted to do the review yesterday after the game, but it was
No,
difficult,
no,
you
no,
know.
no, no. I didn't want to do it after the game. In fact, I couldn't on it.
Right. Okay, let me put it like that. You know, we
Absolutely.
come, we know what I mean. We committed, Nico. We committed to doing the review, but yesterday didn't make it any easier on us to fulfill our obligation. You understand? So we had to postpone. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You know, the circumstances under which that game played out yesterday made it very, very difficult for us to come and do a review yesterday. So we had to cool, you know. I mean, I look at Nico, you can see Nico he's still battling, you know.
Real question.
Nico's still battling, but I had time to cool down, you know. I had time to, you know, come to terms with certain things that we just not good enough, you know. But I mean, let me get into the mix, guys. You know, coming from pole position in this Champions League, you know, where we were on top, we were sure to go through, you know, based on the first two games. We knew, you know, you got that feeling that that game, that loss against away to Istanbul, could have bit us in the tail. But oh gosh, to fall like this, especially to our PSG side I was there, for the taking of the PSG and playing no football. I lost real respect for PSG in terms of the footballing ability. Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, none of them fellas impressed me. Yet, we let this thing slip. Sevilla all over again. Missed chances, poor defending. Missed chances, poor defending. And again, earlier, soft, sloppy goals, set pieces. What going on? Talk to me, Gregory.
but it was a situation where I felt like PSG kind of took what we did in match day one and they kind of hit us back with it, you know. Because the way we set up, if you watch how we set up in match day one, we had three back, we had five, we basically fill up the back line. That was what PSG did. Tuchel kind of basically sat back, soak up pressure, hit we back on the counter. First goal when you watch 6 minutes in, it's like that too early to be conceding goals like that, but McTominay and Fred get pulled apart for that first goal. And then it's just a lucky bounce off a deflection. Neymar sorted into the corner. And like, all right, we had a hit back. We thinking, all right, that's just a hiccup. You're thinking when we went in at halftime, I was like, all right, that's the job there. You know, we just had to see it out and we through. Men get laps. Marquinhos get a score goal, and then Fred lose his head after he was already walking a tightrope. It's like you had to be mindful of them things. A lot of people will say, okay, Oli should have taken Fred off. I agree with that. But if you look at it from the flip side, he was telling himself, all right, Fred is our man. Fred is basically like an engine player. He's the man that keeping the momentum. It's like he'd be the first man initially to make the ball move and get everybody to tick. So he tells himself, all right, maybe Fred will be disciplined enough to keep himself on the line. Should he have gotten that second yellow? That tackle is debatable because when you look at the replays, he won the ball. And in my mind, it's like, okay, even though he won that ball, the referee was already marking, like, you run, raise your profile. Referee watching for every little mistake you make. And then when you have men like Paris and under her on the field, and her is a master of dark arts behavior, doing anything to get a man sent off. We all know this. He used to play for us. We used to see it. So it's like you kind of had to brace yourself. So you know a man on a yellow card, they're going to do every single thing possible to get him sent off just to get an advantage. And once they knew they had a man advantage, that's when they might decide, all right, I can do what I could. It was all over after that. After that third goal, and then I was like, Lord, group wide open now.
Nico, talk to me.
All right. Good night again. Well, I try to be real cool and calm, at least for the initial stages of the review. Right? I try to be real composed, right? In the analysis of the game. But it will come out. It may not come out nice, you know. Really, I think overall, let us have the positives first. You know, overall, I think we played a good game. I think we played a game deserving to win. You know, I think we were the better team. you know, until the errors. I think that would have cost us. But overall, I think we were the better team. I think we played the better game. However, there are some major question marks. When you look at how we started, again, we see that we are a small team. We see that our mentality is that we are the small team, and you know, PSG who not in any kind of form, not any kind of rhythm. You know, we allowed them to dictate and to play the ball, and we was intimidated, and we was shy, and we was coward, and you know, it really showed that where the mentality for a big team with a lot of our players is not there. You know, I think we really lack that. You know, and that was for me. That was a real disappointment, especially in the Saturday game. The first goal, yes, it was to me was a lucky goal, more or less a deflection, and it ended up on Neymar. You know, he started at home, but again we had a question here. We had a question here in that first post here. Come on. I feel that Henderson would not allow to score because his first post again on the hair. So that is big question marks on the hair for the first goal. Even the second goal, the hair, yes, you're good with your foot. But if you went with your hands there, I show you where I reach. You know, I show the hair would have reached if you went with his hands. But again, you know, I think the year didn't have his best game in terms of the chances that went towards him. And again, I don't know if his trust in his back four. He don't have the trust in his back four. That you know that to me, I feel like every time the defense breach, like to me, I feel like I just look like if he give up, like wherever they score, wherever. You know, you don't see that. Hey, now you're not gonna score on me sometimes. You know, for me, it doesn't make it happen too easy. You know, and the first goal 1-1, the second goal 2, I find he could have done a little better on the second goal. Right?
Nico,
Go ahead.
let me just get some comments, and I want to just touch on some ways about the here, right? Nicholas Ramdas on the inside, welcome, buddy. He said, imagine benching Pogba. Debatable, eh? Yeah. He also said Ole had all the tools to win the game, definitely. And he also said PSG was definitely taken. Everybody could have seen that. That was so obvious. That PSG team is boo. Sinatra, welcome, man. He's saying that game was ours. The scoreline does not reflect how the game went. And that is happening when you don't take your chances. You know? Mm-hmm. Nico, I find you a little bit critical on the here yesterday.
No problem.
I thought the Hayes had a real good game. The goal that we conceded, one, yes, I agree. That's probably for the first goal, he could have come out better. But I find for the two goals that we conceded, Nico, not the third one, the first two, our defense was very slow to react. You understand why it is the attackers reacting faster than the defenders? I don't understand. That ball went over and then Tellez react. That ball come through the back of deflection. Why Marquinhos reacting faster than my defenders? What it is you want David De Gea to do a point blank? As always a 50-50. So to say De Gea should have come out to the hand, I find that a little bit unfair. You see the two top saves De Gea pull off in that game? You know what I'm saying? I thought De Gea did very, very well given the circumstances and the second goal, especially the one to take PSG ahead. You're real cruel to blame De Gea for that. I thought that was a matter of our defense reaction time and they didn't react properly for that as far as I'm concerned. And Marquinhos had enough time to turn and he facing our goal and all our defenders facing up. How is my goalkeeper fault? You know what I'm saying? Some of the blaming De Gea. I thought De Gea after the first goal we conceded had a positive reaction. And the other two goals that he conceded, it was unfortunate. I blame that defense for the reaction time for that.
Right. And that is why I would have said, right, for some reason, every time our defense is breached, right, where it's almost like, we say a one-on-one, for me, I feel like the Hair has give up, right? Because how much time we have been talking about the Hair being beaten on the first post? is umpteen times we just complaining why the AI is being beaten at his first post. Right? Beat man, why? Beat man anywhere else, but why only beat him on the first post? So to me, that is a weakness in his game that is not improving. Right? And secondly, again, yes, your back four was breached, right? But to me, if he went to his hands, he not get the ball. But that is my opinion. Yes, I may be harsh, but my opinion is if he went with his hands, he would have gotten to the ball, right? Because you would have seen where, as you would have said, Marquinhos had time, right? And within that time Marquinhos had, all the hours he was posing, he was only breaks and so, and hoping that whenever Marquinhos take the ball, it's fun. But to me, when that time, a natural goalkeeper who uses her naturally, he would have been springing to Marquinhos for to get touch on the ball. But again, it's my opinion, and that's how I saw it. You know, so that's how I saw it at that point. Right? So continuing now, Fred, I've given Fred a lot of kudos for his intensity. I think he wasn't the one that was bullied and cowered. I think he was the one that took the fight to PSG. You know what I mean? I really give him kudos for that. You know, he was lucky, and I agree with the referee in terms of the both, because we know that those type of South American players are saying I touch the diving and the training himself on the rolling. So I think the referee would have assessed that situation very good, right? The other chance where he could have gotten sent off, where he actually stamped or mashed or whatever it is, challenge on Paredes or whatever his name is, right? And where the referee got it wrong and gave Paredes the yellow card instead, Fred would have counted himself lucky to be on the field. You know, and the whole world would have been lucky to be on the field. And at that point, the referee would have thought he got it right. But the moment the referee would have going half time and realized he got it wrong, with Fred still being on the field, and let's say the game came down to Manchester United winning that game, or even drawing that game, that referee would have been some serious water. So he knew he had something to make up. And I can tell you, we watching football long enough to know that's how refereeing does happen, that's how referees does think. And to me, only around too long not to know that. Because we was talking during the game, right? And we said, hey, Nico, and we are not coaches, right? We are not professional players. We were never professional players. But we could have said, hey, nah, Fred, yes, we like the energy and we like the fight. But you say, Nico, when is the best time to take off, right? And I was saying halftime, I say take off Fred and bring on Pogba. Because the next time Fred going to a challenge, he's going to be sent off. And you would have said, nah, boy, let me battle it, let me see at least by the 60th minute. And we reached the 60th minute, right? Saying, all right, well, where is the substitution now? Where is substitution? And it never came, right? And the thing about it is, the challenge that Fred made where he was sent off was a clean challenge. So just show you that the referee was just waiting to send him off, right? So, due to that, Oli, again, you can't tell me that to tell Fred to watch he said, because he make a good tackle and he still gets sent off. So that sharpness where you say, hey, don't make no sense at all, right? So for that, that decision to leave Fred on the field at least up to the 70th minute, that just showing that Oli is naive, right? And he's showing naivety from the Istanbul game away, because again, if he started a strong team like he started yesterday, don't mind me, all the players who wasn't that fit, we would have won that Istanbul game or even draw, and we'd have been inside, right? But his naivety is shown, and he cost us again. So he cost us in the game, and I'm saying that, and he cost us again, because even if the PSG went ahead, I know I'm going a little long earlier, but go ahead. Even if PSG went ahead 2-1, I was still confident we'd come back with a draw, come back and draw that game, come back and score. With 11 players on the field. But the moment we went down, I know that was curtains. You know, and I think that was down to early decision making in terms of leaving Fred on the field and walking a tightrope in a European game. This is not the Premier League. This is not the Premier League where challenges would be looked at differently. On the European stage, is a different caliber of refereeing. If you're watching VAR decisions, the VAR decisions is what we say are right, very good decision, where in the Premier League is rubbish. You know what I mean? So I think Oli really needs to take the last one, but I will save that one for after.
All right, let me get some let me get some comments. Let me get some comments, and then I'll get Greg to come in on this, right?
Right.
Sinatra saying, yes, we beat Leipzig badly first time around, but this game coming up will be difficult. Must win to go through. Yeah, that game will be a very, very, very tough one because, I mean, Leipzig will be playing for blood as well. And they will go for it because they have to win the game. Qualifying wrong, looking 50-50.
I'm more 75-25 because we are away to them. I might have fans.
But we are away from better than we home from, so I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
Davion, welcome, man. He's saying for the how much ever time Oli out. Good night.
Like 100 million time or something.
Hey, Iron Lion, welcome, man. Thanks for joining. Good, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining. Iron saying from the time I saw Fred got a yellow, I knew a red was coming.
The whole world know that. Only gonna score shy didn't know that. The whole wide world.
So not just saying I have a lot of questions about Oli starting 11. Right? We have depth but wrong combo. Davian saying whoever find Fred should have stayed on sick in the brain. All right, I don't know if I read that correct.
You trying to say whoever thinks that Fred should have stayed on the pitch, something that they ain't right.
Okay. And Ian saying, Nico, your song, you could have rough about it tonight.
Right? It's man, nah, boy. He's not good enough. That decision alone to leave for on the pitch for that amount of time, that's showing that he ready. Otherwise, I back him and support him. That decision, not good enough.
Last comment before we get Gregory. He's saying that Marquinhos' goal would have been called offside in the EPL.
Yeah, that's a different.
Because just that toe or a finger alone, then getting called offside for in EPL. If we watch a couple of games recently.
Yeah.
But Gregory, let me get your opinion on this whole Fred matter that Nico brought up.
Well, I'm gonna say right now, Davion say that whoever agreed that Fred should have stayed on sick in the head, well, I guess he go feel like sick in my head because humor for a second with this situation. I'm looking at it from like I told you guys before. Oli would see Fred as his engine because at the end of the day, how much people within the team have that level of energy that Fred brings to the midfield? When you think about it, he's the kind of person, like I said, his job is there to really break up the passing movement of the opposition and get the ball forward going for us. So he's thinking in his mind that Fred would have enough discipline to say, okay, you know what, I can walk a tightrope, but I can still make some decent tackles. And as we all saw, the tackle that he got sent off for wasn't as bad as initially looked. So we also apparently made a meal of it. And anybody who's seen PSG play, they know they have a knack for making things bigger than they naturally are. From Neymar go down. The minute anybody gets a tackle, and all of those players are going to crowd around the referee and ask for a card. So, in itself, we all know the headbutt alone. Any other given day, he'd have been sent off first time without a
Premier League. In the Premier League, he gone. The Premier League
because even Arsenal fans were telling me, so what make that so different from when Pepe gets sent off for Botany Man for Leeds? I had to jump up and say one of them playing Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the next one playing Tuesdays. Oh gosh, it wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. But at the end of the day, there's no real clear significance because when you look at that, Fred would have been marching the minute that happened in Premier League. We all know this. But in retrospect, you see Oli still coming out and defending him because he believed that Fred had the capabilities of doing that. So as much as it looked as in hindsight, it looks like it's a bad decision. Is a measure of trust in certain players, and the fact that he still came to his defense in spite of the mistake, it shows that he believes that Fred is capable of something much better. Everybody has off days, so
I think he was defending himself. I don't think he was defending Fred. He was defending himself with the defending decision he Fred on the field, which was
in respect of that, Nico, you still back the players that you have on your team. So you looking at that, he's showing him, okay, he's not gonna dig him out. If that was Jose, he'd have been calling Fred Dotish or get that thing and he would train that man on the bus all now.
No, if it was Jose, Jose would take him off. I can tell you Jose would take him off. Jose wasn't taking that chance. Jose had European degree.
Hold that thought. Hey, hold that thought, Nico, because remember, Jose had that same issue with Balotelli years ago in Inter. He already got a yellow. Tell him, hey, first off, he say, hey, try not to get a second yellow now. Man, come on, 46 minutes. Get a second yellow, get sent off. So it's happened. It has happened. So it's not the first time it's gonna be the last, man. So we have to kind of allow leniency in some regards, but it's not the only thing that swung that game in PSG's direction. It's harsh. Fred could have done better. He shouldn't have gone in for the headbutt in the first place. He should have just walked away from the situation, but there's nothing we could do about it now.
All right, let me get some comments. Good point.
Yeah, right. Let's wait before I go, right? I just say Oli also has trust his squad, right? And you know, we just have 3 substitutes. You have the Champions League, 5.
Yeah.
And to wait for the 70th plus, then to start to think about one, again, you feel. Let's show you again how you feel. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I am saying you have to study your opponents also, and we know PSG has play actors.
Only don't know that. It's only Ali who don't know that.
McTominay was doing the breakup play quite fine. He actually pocketed Neymar. So I think Davian's saying we could have taken off Fred and because McTominay was doing the work.
Yeah, but McTominay don't have the pace Fred has. That's the thing I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
but in the situation where you know one challenge and it don't have to be bad, that he could be off, then you have to make a decision.
True. It's 50-50 in that decision either way. But anyhow.
Simeon, welcome Simeon. He's saying, oh gosh, surely, sub the man. If I was PSG coach, I would have told my team to dive and get Fred sent off. Dotishness.
I would have performed even halftime. Tuchel would have told them Fred and a yellow card and he playing hot-headed, right? Get into him easy.
Nicholas do agree with what you, Gregory. Saying the kind of excuses man does make for all the G's and Davion.
So if we get Poch now, I wanna go to Nicholas. If we get Poch now and Poch in that same situation, what we go say then? So every manager that make a decision, we go like we're gonna want to get them on the team.
No, what I say is it's too much bad decisions to me that Oli making. It's too much. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. But I find this one was too much school. That was too much of a schoolboy era. That we don't need a schoolboy coach. We need a Premier League. We need a Champions League coach. We don't need a schoolboy coach.
So who you go for? Exactly. Even have an answer. Exactly.
No, whoever better. Jeez.
Oli could have done so much yesterday with the score, with those subs. Marcel had a stinker yesterday. We'll get some after. But yeah, because I want to talk about that Fred decision as well. You know, I was really disappointed with Fred in the first half with the headbutt. You saw what Marcel got sent off for again in the Spurs game. It was real soft. You don't take those chances. As a professional player, you cannot allow to let these players get into your head, especially with the kind of gravity of the game that we were playing. You understand? So first things first, if Fred gets sent off for that, even though Nico agreed with the referee that it wasn't a red card, if he had gotten sent off, he looked for that because that action was foolish. So I was done vexed with Fred from that point already. I was done vexed. Right? Then the second thing Fred do was to go into that challenge. You're on a yellow already. And there's my issue with Fred, You're on a yellow already. And they go flying to attack with Paredes. He lucky that referee didn't go to VAR.
It's the same man. The same player now headbutt.
Yeah, so he lucky that referee didn't go to VAR because that would have been a second yellow card and the referee would have switched the call. Paredes get yellow in and Paredes was who get tackled.
Exactly.
So I'm questioning. Now I understand what Gregory was saying because what Fred was giving us at that point in time, it was very useful. But however, when I see Fred get a yellow card for when he get away, and then he fly into that tackle against Paredes, I had a question for mental strength and stability, whether this man could really last 90 minutes on the field, considering the ability of these PSG players to make a mountain out of a molehill. You know what I'm saying?
You saw how much, even before that, Fred had committed about 3 or 4 fouls before that, eh?
Yeah.
Before he had.
So although I agree, I hear Ollie when he say he talked to Fred and tell Fred to be a little more sensible. But after that first yellow card, Fred did not show any kind of sensibleness, if you want to call it that, any kind of common sense in his tackles and how he played the game after that. No. When I saw how PSG were playing and the kind of initiatives that we were taking, the kind of control that we came into the game, I didn't see why a Pogba couldn't come in there or a Van der Beek couldn't come in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that these fellas would have been able to get the quality that they want. It's not that he had to turn to a Pereira or Lingard. He had quality options. Now, when me and Nico was talking during the game, Nico said, Reem, when you think Fred should come off, I think he should come off. I said, nah. Let me say the 60th minute. Yeah, not because I know at that point in time, coming into the second half, PSG would have come with a next wave. So would I use Fred to kind of try to, nullify that and then make change, bring in a Pogba, bring in a Van der Beek, because you saw at that point in time, the game was swinging in our favor. We had possession, we had momentum. You know what I'm saying? That is where I was upset with Ollie. You can't be so reactive. You need to start to think ahead. You need to be proactive. The game was coming down to crunch time. PSG was going to start to throw everything at we. So we know Fred would have had a throwing frame, and Fred game earlier is to tackle. Fred game is to throw his body. That is how Fred display. If Fred don't do that, Fred will not be effective. If Fred don't play like how Fred display and get stuck in, then Fred will not. He will look like crap. That is why when Fred made that bad touch, the only thing he knew to do was to lunge. Yeah, he win the ball, but Nico said right, and Nico is a referee as well. You see Fred going the first half 3-4 times. Of course, I'm marking his name down on that card.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So Ollie had to take responsibility for not making a decision early. I don't agree taking on Fred off at halftime, but you see around that 60th minute, where we know the momentum was on our side, and we didn't really need Fred, and McTominay started to grow in the game because McTominay did not start off the game good, but McTominay grew in the game, and McTominay became a little more solid and a little better as the game went along. I thought it took long, and that set us back. Let me get some comments. Nicholas saying Poch was subbing him out. Don't even try that. Poch is a tactical manager. Always a feel good from an era that has left. That's coming with real venom, boy.
What is that one Poch?
Fred was in the game to tackle. Exactly. He can't tackle on a yellow card. That's correct, Simeon. Especially when the ref was probably told he should have sent him off. That's correct. No reason for Fred to be on. All it messed up.
Exactly.
Raymond Pogba was perfect for this game, and Van der Beek would have run his lungs out for Bruno. Yeah, Ollie had the options on the bench where he could have made that substitution. Fred isn't comfortable in the ball. It really shows the need for a defensive mid. We were talking about that last review.
I don't entirely agree with that statement, though. But
yeah, you feel so by Gregory? We don't need that deal.
I've seen moments where Fred could actually run forward and push the ball and look for passes, but it may not always be all the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's not comfortable with the ball. But I mean, in this situation, remember, his game was geared more to just win it from the opposition, not necessarily to be a creative influence. That's where Bruno is. I mean, even if you brought in Pogba, as they said, this is a game where you wanted to try and be a bit more tactical. But like we said, he's a dark horse kind of team, so you're looking for that situation where you disrupt their momentum. That's why he probably kept it on, but it didn't work out for us. I'm not saying that I and all would agree that in a situation like this, you don't want to risk it too much. And if I was in all issues, I would have taken off Fred. But given what he probably was expecting, that's why I said, okay, I can understand why he wanted to keep him on. I think from a tactical perspective, knowing how PSG are in a situation like that, you look to take off someone who's walking that tightrope. If it was anybody else with that card, you don't want to do the same thing.
Right, nice. Greg, do me a favor, I guess center yourself with your camera a little bit now, so you could get
Right,
you.
sorry.
Yeah,
That's better.
Yeah, much better. All right, so here what we want to do now, right? We look at the formation, the starting lineup, and let me get your thoughts now. We think how you thought Oli was brave with the setup. You thought he went into casual, careless. You think he should have gone a little more defensive. What was your thoughts on it, Greg?
Well, the 4-2-3-1 is basically, I kind of actually predicted that lineup for the most part. That exact lineup, I was saying to myself that he was going to do that. Fred McTominay, put Rashford on the right, put Martial on the left, put Cavani forward. I said to myself, all right, okay, maybe he's looking to go for it in that regard, because he has Cavani as the main striker, and 9 out of 10 times you're bound to get a goal out of Cavani. This was a situation where it was bad decisions from the midfield and chances that we had, we didn't take. Especially that Martial miss from in front of the goal. I watched that. I replayed that in my mind. I keep saying, how, Tony, how? If Cavani had that chance, if Greenwood had that chance, if Rashford had that chance, 9 out of 10 times that's any back in the net, and we would have been in front, and PSG would have been in panic mode. I have to kind of wonder what's going on mentally with Anthony Martial. Why isn't he performing like how he was last season? This is a person who got 20 plus goals for us. How all of a sudden just can't seem to find your footing. It's scary as the number 9 that you are don't even have a goal in the league, and you only have 1 Champions League goal from a penalty. It's hard to see any reason to actually keep him in the starting 11 at this point. I think he needs a break. But overall, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish what you were saying, Greg.
I think overall the play from us wasn't that bad. But that's what it is for me. It's a classic case of us not taking the chances that we actually had, and we were punished by it. PSG saw that. PSG soaked up, like I said, and just came and hit us back. Marquinhos goal and the last Neymar goal are classic examples of us being caught out.
Before Nicole, I'm gonna get some comments in, right? I am saying when I saw that lineup, I saw Oli was going for it, right? And I think we were. It's like sometimes it's so hard to please fans there, because you want to attacking manager, because we know Jose we are going to this game and play probably 13 defenders and we are complaining, But
the result wasn't saying it.
But the I thought the lineup was inventive, it was bold, and as Gregory say, if the chances were put away, we'd all be waxing lyrical about the boldness of Oli and the attacking style of Man United, but let me get Nico's opinion on the setup now.
So let's touch on what you don't say, right?
Yeah.
If we won the game, right, and Fred still got sent off, then again, I say it just showing how naive Oli is, and I don't think he would have been the coach, or he is the coach to carry Man United where they need to be, right? Because I telling you, that card was waiting to happen. But anyway, we beat that all already, right? Again, to me, I like the lineup. I was kind of surprised, but I wasn't expecting McTominay, because McTominay was injured, right? And then coming back in to play PSG, I was actually seeing a Van der Beek play starting. I was seeing Van der Beek in the lineup with Fred. Honestly, I was seeing a Van der Beek with Fred in the lineup. Seeing McTominay to me was a surprise, but it was more or less a pleasant surprise, because I know the effort that would be required during the game, and I know the effort that McTominay would normally put into the game. So I saw a solid base, and I saw he went with a decent attacking lineup, where to me it had a decent balance within the team now. So when I looked to the squad, I said, all right, Oli went brave, but I saw balance now. So I honestly thought he got it right. We didn't start off like he got it right, I think he still got the lineup right, but there's just the belief. He started the game, I think the players lacked that belief in the early part of the game, until maybe after the 20th minute is when you started to see our qualities starting to come through, and the lineup was vindicated at that time, and to me it was a perfect lineup. But again, my issues coming down in terms of the substitutions and when it's supposed to happen. I think that's when he got it wrong and he continues to get it wrong. I think we raved about it against Southampton when he brought on Cavani. I think that was a master stroke. But I think he didn't get it right. His substitution didn't get it right against PSG. And just as how we call for consistency within the team's performance, we had to get consistency with decision making. Because for some reason, we're not seeing the consistency with his decision makings for substitutions, for starting lineups, and that sort of thing. So that's something for me that we need some consistency with. Just as we demanded the team to be consistent, we need Oli to be consistent with the teams he picked, right? And I would always go back to that Istanbul game in Turkey. And to me, if we don't make it out of the group, I mean, you're writing on the wall.
Just want to get some comments here. Nicholas saying, yes, the team has holes, but the worst version of this game, second 3 years ago, third last year, and we improved again, so nobody can say this team is not good enough. Okay, so I think that this part came after that. So he's saying the coaching staff not doing the best with it, not getting the best out of the team. Right, Greg, he's saying, Greg, you're wicked. The man got an undeserving red card. He needs time to get into the team. I don't know if I read that right. Did I read that right?
Saying no. He's talking about Martial. I'm not saying no, but at the same time, it's like if after that time, look how much time has passed since that Spurs game. Look at how many matches he's been in. And he hasn't been able to really catch form. So I don't know what else to say. If you're not playing consistently enough, if you, as a striker, if you're in front of goal and you're throwing away chances that most strikers put away in your sleep, do you think any coach is going to keep you on a field? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Martial had a blistering season last season, and all of a sudden it's like this. Sometimes a break outside of the game. It worked for Rooney back in 2010-11. He wasn't himself after the World Cup. Ferguson gave him some time off, and he eventually catch himself in the later half of the season. Maybe that probably might work for Martial. I don't know. But at this point, his head doesn't look like he's on a football field right now.
I don't know. Now, let me preface what I'm going to say with the fact that I am in no way impressed with Marcel in front of goal this season. I am no way impressed. I'm no way pleased. I just know. I know Marcel is one of my favorite players, and I will defend him when I see the need to. But I can't defend that yesterday. And I tell Nico, I said, Nico, this is why the team will remain average when you have men finishing like not able to take chances like that. We saw it against Sevilla. And even though it has so many other reasons and factors why we didn't make it to the final in the Europa League last season. But one of the main reasons was because we weren't putting away our chances. And there were 3 or 4 chances that fell to Martial's feet last season against Sevilla that Martial didn't put away. And again, you saw it yesterday where something was laid on a platter for you. You playing the highest level of football. You're supposed to have the composure. Even if it means you see the man flying, even if it means control the ball, feint, chuck back. We see Rashford do that so much times on that intense situation. And just slip it past while all the other players go in the other direction. This is the kind of calmness and composure. We just always refer to Marcel as ice cold. We just say he's one of the best finishers in the club. And that's what you go do. I am so disappointed in the performance. I saw it. Well, I won't say performance because if I'm honest with you, performance-wise overall, I don't think he has been bad. But you see, his goal-scoring form this season has been inexcusable. To say that Marcel requires dropping, I don't fully agree with that because I could refer to yesterday, there were 3 chances Marcel created. The first chance was with Rashford when Rashford got the ball and ran away from the goal when he could have gone directly to goal. The one he played over the top to Bruno when Bruno was supposed to slap that and I don't know what Bruno do. And the one he played Cavani through for the chip. So in terms of his play, he hasn't been bad, but we want Marcel to be scoring goals, and for that, I am very critical because Nico bring it up last review. If Rashford did do this earlier, all you know I'd be on a Rashford case. You understand what I'm saying? So the double standards ain't gonna work. Marcel had off the game. And I want Marcel to be scoring hat-tricks coming up for me to forgive him because this is unacceptable. I want more all you. You understand what I'm saying? And for us to be the club that we want to see Man United be, if Marcel continuing this with this thing, then we won't reach nowhere with him. You know, plain talk. We will not reach where we want to reach if Marcel had to continue doing this kind of thing. Because I'm not talking of yesterday. I'm talking of Sevilla. We could have been at final if Marcel put away chances. And same thing yesterday.
Yeah, and on the Marshall train, right? And I said there's no apology. With Anthony Marshall in Manchester United, we are not going to win anything. He is not good enough. He has to go. Reeves.
Nah. Okay, all right.
At the end of the season, I am hoping to see the back of Anthony Martial. And let me get a top striker because and let me tell you why I'm saying this. Let me tell you why I'm saying this.
Go ahead.
How many times, right? Has Anthony Martial been in front of the goal alone and blasted over that? I can remember clearly. You remember Liverpool last season? We had Liverpool under pressure. That man had the goal alone, and he hit it again the same way. Just blasted with like you can't believe it in front. You go just close and you hit the ball with all your might, right? And to me, that is the type of striker that Manchester United is required or needs if it's to move to the next level. Right? To me, it seems like he doesn't have the confidence within himself. Right? Because I know we just talk about body language, but no. With these type of chances and how, like, to me, he don't have the belief in himself that he could do it. And that premise, I don't think he had the right club. You know, because any top striker in the world, they would say a level of composure. If we look at Bruno, right? For the instant, when he scored the goal against Istanbul and the keeper dropped the ball, Bruno actually smiled before he scored a goal. You know the kind of level of composure you want to have for you to smile to tap a ball in the goal, right?
That's true.
And that is the composure and that is the quality you need out of a Manchester United striker. And Marshall doesn't have it, and he is with season after season. It's costing us big games. It's big games he costs. It's not the small games he costs us. It's the big games, and in big games, chances upon chances falling at him, and he is not finishing, and he has us in the position that we're in today, right? As Reeves would have said, because if he took his chances against Sevilla, right, we would have been in the Europa League final, right? But how many chances, how much trust now do I have in you, knowing that in a big game, I could rely on you? If as a coach in every big game, when chances fall to you, you are not finishing, then I need somebody in my team who can finish the chances. And it's plain and as simple as that. You're just not good enough. You're just not composed enough. You just don't have that belief and that self-confidence within yourself that you could win a big game for a big club. And to me, just because of that, I like him. I like his quality. I like his talent. I like his skill. I like his composure at times. But if you cannot win big games for Manchester United, then you're not supposed to be Manchester United. Find some other club. Go PSG. Maybe PSG, they might roll balls 10 ball across the goal fair and hope for to score one. Maybe that might
He wouldn't even start on our PSG side, Nico. Come on. He wouldn't even start on our PSG side. I am back.
But at Manchester United, but at Manchester United, we need men who compose enough to put the goal. And if you're not composed enough to do that, then I don't mind sitting back at you.
Nico.
Yeah, but Nico, we can bring up instances that refuse that statement too, right? Because you're saying he doesn't score in big games. He scored against Spurs. He scored against Chelsea. He scored against City.
I talk about the final game. I talk about the final game.
Nico. I find it being rough. I know you're upset about yesterday, but some kind of things I find because hear him out. Anthony Martial then gets the label as the best finisher in the club or ice cold by chance.
They
It's
lose
based on-
that?
No.
They lose that?
Hold on now. It's based on facts. The man has composure in front of goal. You understand? And you see, Nico, I find you being real critical.
That is when we 2 and 3 goals up. That is when we 2 and 3 goals. But anytime
But
you
I find
pressure,
you being real critical. The man going through a different form. Rooney went through dips in form. Some of the best strikers go through dips in form.
yeah,
So
but
I'm
even
saying-
when he in form, the Liverpool game when he was in form and he had that chance, he
but
blew.
Nico, I see Rooney last balls of about two.
But
Hell,
so
more chance to do it.
Look at Aubameyang, the Europa League
Oh
last
my
season.
God.
You see what Super Aubameyang miss? Strikers just miss chances.
Aubameyang still winning big games for Arsenal.
What I say,
When
Nico, I don't
when
understand.
season.
Arsenal won the FA Cup single-handedly for Arsenal last season. He still
So
won.
you forget when Marcel win the FA Cup for Man United when Van Gaal was there.
If he didn't score that win
carried
against
the
Everton,
final?
he wasn't even making that final.
Who can reach the final, Nico?
That was in the past. We need him now.
Yeah, but you said, Nico, you said that we don't win trophies with Anthony Martial. We've won the Europa League with Anthony Martial. We won the FA Cup with Anthony Martial. We won the Carabao Cup with Anthony Martial. All those games, Martial was in that final.
Yeah, but even for the Europa League campaign that we won, he wasn't the main striker. He was Mourinho put out on the wing to play. Zlatan scored goals.
Nico,
Pogba was in form.
as I said before, I hear that you're passionate about what's going on, and I don't have an issue with that. But to reach to the point where you're saying you're ready to see the back of Anthony Martial, Nico,
He's not good enough. Because you telling me if you get Erling Haaland, right? You telling me you wouldn't want to see the back of Anthony Martial?
No.
You wouldn't say that. I probably should get position, but you wouldn't want to walk to the club.
I would gladly see Anthony Martial out for Erling Haaland. Because you know, if he's my number 9, I want goals. And if you can't give me that, well then, is this sense? I don't want you to be setting up men all over the place and say, well, he set up this man and he missed, or he set up that man and he missed. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear you putting the ball in the net. You feel you can ask, do I talk step this one, do I talk step that one, or Nico step this one, and that one Nico playing? No.
No. Nico, you're talking about prime strikers in the prime. You understand? You don't be comparing the right Nicole.
Let me wait forever for.
No. Let me understand where certain players were. Let me understand where certain players were in the development.
Exactly.
And then compare. We comparing Martial as a striker to Andy Cole and Dwight York is criminal, Nico. Like criminal. As far as I'm concerned.
Why? Because they are more pure strikers, right? Because they are pure strikers, right? And that's all we need. We need pure strikers. He's not that. We need a pure striker.
But the football changed, Nico. You don't get pure strikers again.
Different dynamic now.
It's not Erling Haaland. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but you think that Erling Haaland just there just to banging goals? He does do all kind of things. Right. He's not just he's a point man and he'll set up other players in the same vein too. He could score goals, but you'll see him providing chances for Sancho and others to come in behind. So
what say they're saying the clinicality or clinical he is and what belief he have in himself when he's in front of the goal.
I know, Nico.
What Martial doesn't have. He doesn't have belief and that self-confidence.
Right now.
He never had it, right? He never had it.
Right? He scored last season again.
Anyway, let me hope that.
No, don't run. How much goals he scored last season?
I'm telling you, to me, he's not clinical enough in front of goals. Not clinical enough. And to me, it doesn't seem like he believes in himself in big games.
And that is the main issue, which is why I keep saying it's all about mentality. And sometimes he doesn't look like he's there. But when you have Anthony Martial fully focused, he's a horse of a different color. So something is going on behind the scenes that we don't know. You don't just lose form overnight like that. You don't just lose form overnight like that. There are other circumstances going on behind the scenes for that situation to arise. So something fundamentally, I don't think it's an issue because the man knows how to finish. Just at this point in time, something is not right with Anthony Martial. And this is why I still strongly believe that maybe sometime away from the team might help him rekindle his form, because right now Edison Cavani is showing him how a striker is supposed to move.
So
It does not mean, Nico, it does not mean that because he's having a bad patch right now that he's completely useless. So saying that you would be willing to just see the back of Anthony Martial because of our current situation
is for a top-class striker. A top-class striker, I would gladly.
Look at how many games. If you remember, look at how many games Van Nistelrooy and others would go without goals. And then all of a sudden he gets a flurry. You just have to, sometimes you have to be persistent in situations. It does not mean that because he's a complete waste and that you just have to completely discard him.
Right. I think
maybe the threat of Cavani is affecting his game, right?
Maybe
because a younger Cavani, and even maybe the one now, would take his pick easily and easily.
All right, Nico. All I'm saying is I do disagree with plenty that you're saying, because I still upset about yesterday, you know. And if you go back to my comments on this matter, you know, I am disappointed, upset. You know, Martial needs to do better. You know, however, I think you're being a little bit, you know, reactionary in some of the comments that you're making, because I know you're disappointed. But to just gloss over one of the man's best seasons he had last season, you know, in a breakout season as a number 9, you know, after the third time in the seasons before, you know, I mean, even the you and all was talking about Marcel as a number 9 and so forth and so on. But we have to understand he's a different type of number 9. He's not Erling Haaland, he's not Cavani, he's not York, he's not Cole, because the team just doesn't play that way. The team just doesn't play that way. And Oli set up the team last season to play for Martial like that. Now we see a different kind of striker coming, who's Cavani. And I have an issue with fans who looking at bad patches and saying he ain't good again, go from here. I have an issue with that. Let me recognize that these people are human beings. As Gregory said, it has something going on wrong. Something going wrong. Last season, Martial was scoring for fun. Yes, he ain't perfect. Who were missing chances? Tell me a striker who haven't missed clear-cut chances.
But why it's so consistent?
What do you mean consistent?
When you're playing big games and you get a chance, you're blasting it, you're closing, you're blasting it.
Because you talk like two games out of 40-something games.
You know how much time Martial do that, Reeves? Be honest.
How much? If
you go to the highlights and look at Martial get clear chances, so we just close and blast the ball.
Here we're going on. Bookmark this date. And the next time, when Marcel started finding back home and he had like 15 plus goals, Nico, we go remember these things. We go remember these things and we will hold you accountable for your accusations.
No, but the moment he get at
and if he comes back, if Anthony Martial comes up and actually wins the Golden Boot this year, you have to issue a public apology on Facebook. Nico, I'm telling you right now. If that happens, you have to issue a public apology to Anthony Martial all over Facebook.
I will, because that would never happen.
Gregory, last season, Anthony Martial was the player of the year, you know.
Thank you.
You know, as I said before, I'm going to go back and preface. I not disagree with what Nico's saying. Anthony Martial is not in form. All I am saying is, let me throw the baby out to the bathwater. You cannot just say, I want to see the back of Martial because he out of form and he blasts.
And I agree with you.
There's standards, Nico. Then Rashford not supposed to be here. Then Greenwood not supposed to be here. Then Aubameyang not supposed to be playing for Arsenal. Then we shouldn't have no strikers because everybody is missed. Everybody is go through. But when last Aubameyang score a goal, why Arsenal don't
service? The man no service. No service. I just want to know Arsenal fans be watching.
Service is the problem now.
Well, last I watched about Arsenal play and
you remember,
You
remember, Nico, when Harry Kane had this thing over his head where he could not never score a goal in August? You remember?
Yeah. All of us are not.
What going on? Why we didn't say, well, why Spurs fans didn't say, well, let me get back It's because
I didn't go to the
Everybody know after August, he man got back goals. So let me
well,
hope,
let me
let
get
me
back
hope,
on that.
let me hope that after August, September, October, November, that in December, Marshall started to score some back goals. Let me hope for that.
Let me see. Let me get some comments, guys. Michael James, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining. He said Marcel isn't a striker. He can never finish his dinner.
Wow.
Nico, yeah, plenty allies here, but yeah, plenty allies.
Oh boy.
Riyadh, welcome, Riyadh. He's saying if Tony had scored one, or if Tony had scored one of his 3 chances, this conversation would be completely different. That's very true. That's very true.
My point score one at least, huh?
Michael is Mitchell. I don't know if I pronounced the name correct.
Yeah, I think it's probably pronounced.
Yeah, he said if Lukaku did miss a chance like that, everyone would have been slaughtering him.
Gosh, boy. Hey, I didn't want to go down that road, you know. I really didn't want to go down that road. But it's the God-forsaken truth. Because if Lukaku was playing and he had missed that, watch me, we'd have been slaughtering him. Riyadh and I fed up fall out for this. Because he always calling Lukaku a donkey. Always. And look, that donkey scored 36 plus goals in Serie A right now. So don't tell me that Lukaku is not a quality striker. And let me tell you something. The man left-footed. Martial had take that on the right foot and put it wide. Left foot, I food. I not even left-footed and I would have away that chance. That's the tell you. So like I said, something is not right with Martial right now. Because on a normal day, he's not throwing away chances like that. Something is off.
I disagree with that because I don't see that a lot.
Nico, please.
You real bookmarking them thing, boy.
Let me see, sir. How much time you has message her and say, nah, Marshall should have finished that. Nah, Marshall should have finished that. How much times?
We just said for Martial.
There's be a lot. No, but
we said for Martial. We said for
Martial, but yet he's not the only one who throw away chances like that. It have fed up. I see times Rashford pointing wide and it's like, no.
Why Nico don't want to see back at Rashford then? Why Nico don't want to see back at Rashford?
No, but tonight is not about Rashford. Tonight is about Marshall.
No, man. So
Rashford did anything.
Classic example. David Trezeguet was one when he was playing for Juventus. He would miss some of the easiest chances you can ever think. But when it comes to the hard one, he had a flair for the spectacular. He put away screamers when it hard to get angle and everything. It has happened to players. It's not something that's not uncommon. So we have to stop nitpicking at every little thing. Players are going to miss chances.
I don't remember the conversation tonight, right? Coming up.
No problem. All right, guys.
Let me see Marshall take his chances. Let me hope. But when he's not taking it, then
maybe that one game coming up might be the unfortunately needs.
If you don't look back at that and watch what that would cost the team, and then most likely not going and winning. Well, I really don't want to say it so, right? It will be a very difficult game in June, and then we out and we lining in the Europa League. But Shakshare ain't gonna make it. When we lining in the Europa League, you remember that miss?
No, yeah. Watch me. Earlier at the end of the day, I am very disappointed in Martial for the chance that he got that he should have scored. I agree with Nico. I'll hear what I say. And we want to move on, right? What I don't agree with Nico is that you're ready to see the back of Martial. That is what I don't agree with.
Yeah,
right? I think that's
no, if that Erling Haaland come in, I can see back Martial comfortable. And
all right, fair enough.
I see normal, like, woo.
How fast is it?
No, boy.
Fair enough.
I'll be honest, as my number 9, I would be like, yeah, no problem. I take it up in the morning.
All right. So, guys, we almost wrap up time. I just want to have one more discussion, right? What you all guys think, and even you who in the comments, what do you think about Rashford on the right hand side? You know,
it's not a bad dynamic to have, honestly, because we were begging and hoping Sancho was coming, but it just goes to show that Rashford's versatile enough to play on either flank. So it gives us a different dynamic, which is why I was saying, I even said it before that game happened. That's why I picked the formation. I said Rashford's fit enough, capable enough of playing on the right side. Why not try it? and it pretty much almost worked. So I say going forward, maybe that's something we could utilize more. Give Martial the freedom to run on the left because he's better coming in on the left and probably being more of a supporter, not as a direct striker like everybody wants him to be. But I don't know what to think at this point. Maybe whatever Ole thinks, maybe he might experiment with that for the West Ham game. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, for me, I found he started off the game not comfortable, but as the game wore on, I thought he started to come into the role and started to look good on the right. So I could see something possibly working, but still, I think he more effective off the left. But I didn't find, especially after he settled, that he had a bad game on the right.
Yeah, I am Lion saying Rashford played as a right wing as a youth.
Well, you see, there you go.
Ramdas also saying Rashford played right before he played left actually, so that's why he looks so naturally. I thought Rashford was very positive. He looks a lot more direct, you know. When he played on the left, he would have the tendency to cut in, so you won't get a directness now, you know. So I think it looked really, really good, and I think it's even making Bissaka look a little bit better with Rashford. They didn't realize that Bissaka actually, I mean, Bissaka is now a cup of tea, you know, and probably he might change my words next game. But
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest about this, Rick. If you look at it from previous things we've had before with Beckham and Gary Neville, once the right flank has more of a cohesive unit, if you have someone there, even when the right back overlaps, the right winger could drop in and probably be a little more defensive and probably play a through ball to make him a little bit more open, spread the opposition's defense more. Once you have those two players that are capable of linking up, we've seen it on the left side constantly. That's why we've been more of a left side prone attacking team. You see how Rashford and Alex Tellers linked up. You see how Martial and Shaw would probably have linked up at times when Shaw was on song. So it's a situation. Even with Ronaldo and Evra at times too. When Ronaldo used to play on the left, sometimes he play on the right. It's be a situation where men used to be able to interchange and be able to play more positions. It gives you a different dimension to your attack. Once your fullbacks and your wingers could be able to be more in sync, it makes you more dynamic and it gives you more of a threat. So hopefully, the right wing with Rashford there, maybe Wan-Bissaka gets more time to go forward and work on it and probably have more time to cross. We'll hope to see more of that.
Yeah.
The only thing with me with Rashford on the right was his protecting the ball. I think he didn't do that well yesterday. I think he got picked off too easily. I think on the left-hand side, he was a bit more comfortable in terms of protecting the ball, using maybe the outside, which maybe he got accustomed to, and actually showed the ball much more on the inside more than the outside to the right side. So, I think he kind of struggled with that in terms of his switching of positions. But otherwise, to me, he had a very effective game.
Yeah. James saying Rashford is better on the right. He is more direct and cuts into the box way less. Martial is way better on the left than Rashford. Rashford is not left-footed though.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ian also saying Bissaka is improving in attack. He just needs to work on those crosses. Yeah. I think
he had a good one against Southampton. He cut back.
Yeah. I think with Rashford on the right, it's giving the team a little more balance now. You're seeing a little more balance on, you know, because with Mata, you know, he lacking pace and he likes to drift inside a little more, you know, and then his ability to recover mightn't be as good as Rashford. I do think Rashford playing injured because you saw, and I was wondering if plenty of them tackles, guys, when Rashford was going, he was more protecting himself than, and probably that's why he get pushed off the ball so easy, because he was protecting himself, because he realized after a while he had to wait for the bench because he couldn't go on anymore now. And
he was able to shoot for some time now, so I think that's been kind of bothering him.
Yeah, and you know, defenders, once you're on the field and they know you're nursing something, they're not playing, you know, Dolly House with your head, they're coming at you.
Yes, you would do stuff like that. They'll be looking to target those kind of weaknesses in anybody's game. So
yeah. James said we need a centre back. The ones we have too slow, and only plays 2 CDM to protect them. Yeah, I mean, apart from, you know, the thing that we know our centre, if I'm honest with you, and I might go out on a limb here, we were fearful of Mbappe and Neymar really bursting and killing Maguire and Lindelof yesterday. And I didn't see that happen. You know, I thought, I mean, this is my opinion from what I saw, and I watched the game twice earlier. I thought that them fellas hold the end pretty well. What I had an issue with is that awareness and reaction time. And that happened in the box. You know, and that's how the 2 goals scored. All the other attempts PSG had were limited to nothing. You know, and I thought Lindelof and Maguire
Maguire and Lindelof in a lot of situations, but in retrospect, when you look at how they played all round, it wasn't an entirely bad game.
No.
Their awareness and the tackles that they put in crucial times. If those tackles didn't come in, we could have probably been 4 or 5 down at one point. So it's not necessarily that the defense wasn't always away, but there were moments, yes, that they really did go to sleep. Even when that ball went over them, it's like, okay, why nobody picking up and marking up one-on-one, especially with that Marquinhos goal. The fact that Marquinhos had time. Where was Lindelof in that situation? You're supposed to be able to look for him and not give anybody a chance to have an option. Don't just look for the ball.
I think that is where the problem is with our defense, organization. You know, because so much times you'll find 2 defenders marking 1 player. Look at Nico, remember that message and I tell you for the Marquinhos header that went over the bar. Maguire and Lindelof going after the same player, and Marquinhos was free right there. Let me just get comments in here. James said, good show though. Very interactive. Just found it and it's amazing. Thanks, man. Thanks very, very much. You know, you can feel free to like the page. We always go live after games 9 o'clock the night of the game. Most times. You know, unless something like yesterday.
You just can't pull yourself together. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for that, man. Big up yourself, James. Yeah. So guys, we come to the end, you know, of a very, you know, kind of contentious review. You know, but the love's still there because I mean the
emotional one.
The opinion respected. You know. Iron Lion saying the Gea has to be more vocal. Yeah.
But
they have never been. Yeah, he has
not his
never been.
Yeah, what was that? Mikel was saying that no, Neymar and Mbappe didn't run past us.
Yeah, Neymar and Mbappe didn't run past our defense because we played deep line and 2 center defensive midfielders. When they went on the front foot looking for the equalizer, they were exposed.
Well, because we were a man down too. Well, if you have a numerical advantage, you're always going to be exposed in a situation like that.
And then we had to go for it, huh? We had to go for it. So I think we was risking it. And you know, people looking at the scoreline and saying true. But I fully agree. I like the fact now. This is not in support of Oli making substitutions and making decisions late. But I like the fact that when we were down 2-1, he was like, here we're going on. I prefer lose 3-1 in trying to get a result. You know, so that's something commendable about Oli.
You serious?
No, I'm telling you.
Is that no brainer?
No, but watch man, Nico, it had other managers before who would have sat back and prefer lose 2-1 than lose 3-1 in trying to go for it.
And Jose would have mastered that.
What I say this, right? I would have lost them for it. Because but that's a logical thing to do. So I don't give only no kudos to that, honestly.
No, but what Gregory just said is
just being logical.
No, but managers we had before wasn't going to do that, Nico.
It was illogical. That not making no sense.
Yeah, but the manager always has to give the players the instructions to whether to sit back or go forward. So the fact that they did go forward, that has to be credited to Oli in retrospect. You as a manager tell your players how to play your game. So you tell them, okay, go forward and try and go for it, get equalizing goal.
Yeah, go for it. It's better to score again.
Bruno will get the instructions from Oli as well too, and probably pass on. Maguire will do the same thing. Tell them, okay, rush forward, throw everything.
3 minutes again, Nico. 3 minutes again. I'll go for it.
It's a good thing to do. I ain't getting no kudos to that.
I still am manager.
I feel like you're driving a car up a hill, right? And you want to go up the hill, but you don't want to roll back. So then what you do is you just mash more gas. You know, I rather tell you to do that. And if I don't tell you to do that, then something wrong.
Yeah, but the point we're making, Nico, the point we're making is we've seen before under two previous managers where a result was like that would have been would have stayed. So it's a different mentality now, you know, coming from the sideline.
But it's just a logical decision to say, well, all right, we leave it so. You know what I mean? That's not making no sense.
True. All right, so let me get James the last two comments here. He's saying, okay. I think we read that one, right? He said we play better with Henderson in the side anyway. He organizes his defense better. Join the next review.
Yes, I would say Henderson will be more vocal, but I don't think we saw enough games to really judge him on that. I think we gotta get more games with Henderson in the team to judge him on that. I don't think it's fair enough to judge him as yet in terms of better organizer.
All right, guys. So we go in to Germany on Tuesday, right? All we need is a draw, right? It's real hard to talk about this knowing that we were in the position where we were supposed to qualify with ease, and now we had to wait and hope. And Leipzig showed great spirit, against Istanbul yesterday because they were in the debt to come and win the game, you know.
So confidence high.
Yeah, so confidence high, belief high.
And we confidence in the dumps.
No one's saying the dumps, but we on the edge right now.
Yeah. So
for being a top of the group to fighting to come out.
The group wide open pretty much. I keep telling you again, I kind of 2015-16 kind of vibe because it's almost a similar situation. We needed to win or draw qualify. We had to go to Germany to get the result. I just hope history don't repeat itself, Jen. Seriously.
Nico, closing thoughts.
Qualifying out of the group for me went yesterday. I think if we really pull off that result in Leipzig, you know, I think it will be more or less a lucky one. You know, I think we'd have dodged that bullet more or less. You know, if we do it, all well and good, but I really need to see a lot of improvement in the team. I need to see a lot of improvement with his decision making. I need to see Marshall being more clinical, more ruthless in front of goals. You know, we really had to start to see that because the more performances continue like it was yesterday, then the less and less confidence that supporters as myself, you know, I mean, the way he's die hard, you know, we will continue to support the team, you know, but the more performances like yesterday, I think the more fans become disenchanted with Manchester United and really start to question the direction of the club, you know, so I just want to see the team continue to progress. You know, let me hope Marshall, as we remember as a squad, check the weekend to really redeem himself. We hope Oli started getting everything right. You know, let me get consistency with Oli from front to back, team selection, substitutions. Let me start to see a pattern in terms of things that making sense because we can, as non-footballers, or I mean, when I say non-footballers, non-professional coaches could sit down and say, we need a sub now, why not sub not coming now and not coming? Well, clear for the whole world to see. So I just want to see some consistency within the team. And yeah, let me see where it takes us from now to the end of the season.
Gregory?
I just keep telling people this. When all he know his job on the line, he's turned into a dimension, not like there's Fergie does come out to him in some strange way. The man just find a way to win somehow. We all seen it before last season. When it looked like he was on the brink again of losing his job, he pulled results out of the hat. So it wouldn't surprise me if, in spite of how things looking, we go to Leipzig and we just do the unthinkable, probably hit them 2 or 3 and they have no response. But I'm not getting ahead of myself. I am not getting ahead of myself. I'm not going to think that we could go to Leipzig and just get a result. Going our way is never an easy thing.
Yeah, but I like the spirit, Greg.
Yeah. I agree with Gregory. The thing about it is, the team they tend to respond under pressure, and it's like we don't know how to do it easy.
That's it.
We've always gotten the results when our backs were against our wall.
It wouldn't be Manchester United if there wasn't some drama behind it. Let's be
But
honest.
similar to this whole thing we had with Chelsea, where Chelsea could have never beat us. Sometimes that has always come to an end.
True.
So if we continue to be complacent and continue to throw away chances and continue to be leaky in the back,
That's it.
then that whole back against a wall thing will fall flat if we do up our game. So I think we really need a response from them fellas. They usually respond after poor results like these. So expecting a response from West Ham. Expecting a response from them against Leipzig. So I mean I don't want to jinx nothing, okay? But I think we go pull it off. I think we go pull through with it. I know the fellas know that they have to respond. We don't know what's going on with Cavani. I mean, it's something that I had down to talk about, but the conversation got so that we can talk about Cavani and this suspension thing, right? So we don't know what's going to happen with Cavani for the Premier League. We don't know we do have Fred next week. So Oli and his coaching staff has work to do. Let me stick. We have different opinions, but let me stick it through and see the guys come through, right? So guys, thanks for joining. It was a nice one. It was a emotional one. And Nico?
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone as well.
I get off my chest.
Yeah. But you're still over Marcel. I tell you, he could prove you wrong. Anyway.
I'm hoping so.
Let me not go back.
So thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. As usual, guys, check us on YouTube, All In, All United. The content is always there. We want to build that side as well. Right? So have a good night, everybody. Thanks, Gregory, for joining.
No problem, bro. Take it easy.